Welcome to You Both Suck. This is a comedy podcast about conflict. I am one of your hosts, Dara Pollock.
I'm Kunal Aurora.
And tell us about yourself, Kunal.
Jesus.
Well, I don't know. We have to intro ourselves somehow.
Sure. No, I get it. I totally understand that. Tell us about yourself. That sounded like an AA meeting.
We can do it that way if you want.
No, please. No.
Hi, I'm Dara.
I'm Kunal.
No, you're supposed to say hi, Dara.
Oh, hi, Dara. Someone forgot what an AA meeting is, and someone knows.
Well, this went completely off the rails. But anyway, well, I don't even know what to call myself anymore. I say I'm a content creator now because I started out as like a food blogger and freelance writer, and then it developed into photography and then social media management. And I don't even know, honestly.
I think content creator is great.
I think content creator just sums it up
for you.
Yeah, really nicely. Yeah. So that's kind of me in a nutshell.
Okay.
Now you go.
I'm a stand-up comedian. There you go. Pretty simple nutshell.
That was so much easier than mine.
Well, no, because there has been evolutions for you.
Right.
And let us not gloss over that. All right? There's been evolutions.
You're right.
You've evolved.
Many reinventions.
Yeah, I feel like an adult.
I'm just the caterpillar in the cocoon?
I wasn't going to say that, but yeah, I do appreciate you finally acknowledging it.
Yes, thank you. It's been a journey, but I am here. I'm very excited, though, about this, honestly. I've been thinking about this podcast for a very long time, and I'm so glad that you are my co-host, genuinely.
Oh, thank you.
And
that's so sweet.
Yeah, no, for real, because for those of you who don't know, and most of you don't know, Kunal and I actually go way back.
Way back
To the days of beepers.
We've known each other for 20 years.
I think it's like 22.
Don't come here with listen, this isn't a math podcast. Don't come here with exact numbers.
We've known each other a whole person who can drink long.
Yeah.
Literally.
That's so upsetting.
Yeah, it is.
I'd be okay with a person that can smoke cigarettes, but a person who can drink too much.
Yeah, it takes it to an extra level. But yeah, we go Baywhack. That's
Baywhack.
Edit that part out. Good.
Baywhack. I like it.
We'll keep it.
We're sticking with it.
Oh my God.
I'm
way
writing
back.
that down.
Yes, Baywhack.
We go Baywhack.
If this becomes successful and we have merch, put that on a t-shirt.
Baywhack is definitely. Because that's how way back we go. It's almost like dumb. We go dumb way back that it's Baywhack. I like it.
It's terrible. But we are both New Yorkers. We are both from Queens.
Yes.
It's been a long journey here to the middle.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I'm pumped about this.
I'm going to be honest. I'm really excited about your excitement, but then you just say stuff that kind of like upsets me. You're like, we're long journey to the middle. I go, ugh.
Well, first of all, I stole that quote. That is from Almost Famous, one of my favorite movies ever.
All right.
I did steal that one. I can't take credit, but it's just a great line. Like long journey to the middle. I think that's fucking hilarious.
That's great.
It's great. So that's kind of where we're at. And I don't know. I would say, what did you do before you came here? What was your day like so far?
My day, pretty solid. I would say like the past few days, just very calm, chill, relaxed, doing shows at night, nice. Enjoying my life, really, working out wherever I can, just trying to be healthy because I'm in the middle, apparently. And that's a very tough place to be in some ways.
We don't have to harp on that.
Sure, no. That's all I just wanted to say. It's this time in this point, you have to take care of yourself. I reached out to you because I was looking for food recommendations.
Yes.
And I found a spot to eat. It was like the other day. And this is like something that I've been doing that I've been like really proud of. Mm-hmm. When I look up places to eat, like on Seamless, and like, because that's where you'll find their menus these days.
Correct.
And then what I like to do is I like to call the place and ask if they have a driver.
Oh, yeah. Yes, you told me about this, and I was like, you have to tell people about this because that's honestly such a good tip because I use Caviar or Seamless pretty much all the time.
Right.
And when they forget stuff, you're basically fucked because they don't, like you said, and now that I'm like, this is such a good hack for people to know.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
I was also thinking about just like, if you look at the price comparison from their actual website to Seamless, everything is jacked up $1 to $2.
Is it really that much?
Yes.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, I work with restaurants. That's like, so people know I do social media and photography for restaurants. So I do know that they take a shit ton of money from the restaurants, but also like consumer facing. I never actually stopped to look because I know it would upset me.
That's what I'm saying. Like there's an Italian spot in my neighborhood that they're probably 3 blocks away.
Yeah.
But if I order, and I know I should walk, that's not the point. I didn't come here for this kind of judgment.
Notice I did not even blink because I will order from a place half down the block from me, basically.
You wouldn't, and I respect and appreciate you for that. Yeah. But there are people out there that would.
100%.
And they are not wrong. But I just know that but I look at the prices online through Seamless, and I look at the prices like on their website, we're talking $1 to $2 differences.
Wow.
Like when I'm put in an order, I'm saving not only we're talking service fee, delivery fee, and then you take all those things. Now I can give the delivery driver a sizable tip.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So
yeah. Okay. Well, that is a great tip from you.
Right. Call up a restaurant that you're going to order from. Ask if they have drivers.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, see, learning stuff already.
Right,
that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
We are going to do Fuck, Marry, Kill New York edition.
The entire city. We're picking 3 parts of the New York City.
Yes.
Fuck, marry, kill.
Yes, but we're also going to do just other New York things eventually. We'll break it out into like foods and stuff. But for right now, we are starting with parts of New York, fuck, marry, kill.
Okay.
And we have Times Square.
Yes.
Astoria.
Yes.
Park Slope.
Right.
Okay.
So, okay.
Go for it.
Fuck Astoria.
Okay.
Okay. She's a wild one. Anyone who's ever been to Astoria knows there's so many. Listen, the same way that the Turks and the Greeks fight, you will get the same kind of friction. So you want to fuck Astoria.
And that is where most Greeks are from, because I am from there.
Exactly.
And I am half Greek.
Yes, I keep on forgetting you're part Greek. But yes, you are a dancing Zorba. Is what you are. Yeah. I don't understand the club.
Me neither. I don't know.
That's not really Greek.
This is like castanets. That's not Greek. Okay. I'm going to stop.
Yes. It looks like you're clapping clams. Nevertheless.
Okay.
So
fair enough.
Yeah. I'm going to go kill Park Slope.
Okay. Wow. So yeah, I didn't see that coming.
Right.
But
it's a super ritzy part of town.
Okay.
And I feel you should strike first. Don't ever it's like a true crime podcast.
Okay.
All right. You're either going to get got or you're going to get the gotting.
Get the gotting.
Get the gotting.
Okay.
And then you got to marry Times Square.
Okay. See, I genuinely can't believe that.
She's a workhorse.
I mean, hang on.
Is that what you want? Is that you want to marry someone lazy? You want to marry someone that brings nothing to the table?
Well, hang on. I like Times Square simply for the theater.
Sure.
For musicals, which we don't agree on.
But whatever.
Insane.
Musicals stink.
It's quite... Oh my God. Yeah. Are you trying to start a war right now?
I'm going to be honest. You should get those knuckles checked out. That sounds like a problem.
Okay, wait. I was full in on killing Times Square. I will say that there are redeeming qualities, that being theater and Olive Garden, obviously.
Olive Garden, 1,000% best Italian in the city. Let's go all day.
You're gonna literally get killed for saying that.
Best heroin too. They got good things going on in Times Square.
I love Olive Garden. I said it. I don't care. We are both from New York, and I still fucking love Olive Garden.
It's good.
It's great.
Yeah,
soup, salad, and breadsticks for $5 in college.
People are trying to live in this economy.
Yes, exactly. Okay. I also actually buy their croutons. They sell them in the store.
Like as a secondary?
They literally have Olive Garden
I'm
branded
gonna be honest,
croutons.
you're such trash in such a way that I didn't think was possible. You just never cease to impress me as to how garbage you are.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
this is coming from a dumpster.
Yeah. I was like, we're on the same page and I know it. That's why I don't even take offense. So I was going to kill Times Square, but you're right. It's kind of like the heart of New York City a little bit.
Yes.
It's like the heart of the ocean, but,
right. Yes,
but of New York
but
City.
It smells.
Yes. It is terrible, though. I was there not yesterday. I was there like a couple days ago, and it was just so busy and so awful. And I was like, man, if this just like fell off the fucking planet, I would be so happy about it. But I think that was purely because of the crowds.
New York City becomes Ohio.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, not really, but
we become Cleveland if there is no Times Square. For better or for worse, it's part of us.
It is. I guess you're right. So, okay, so you would marry Times Square.
I'm marrying Times Square. She's a workhorse.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I guess, fuck, see, I might have to change my answer. I was going to kill Times Square. Mm-hmm. And I was gonna marry Park Slope just because it seems.
Look at you.
I'm just saying.
You want to elevate so quickly.
It's so like family oriented. Every time you're there, you're just like, oh, what a lovely area.
What do you think's behind those brick facades?
Oh, you're probably
More
right.
facade.
Yeah.
All right, it's all facade. A family that hates each other.
Yeah, it's true.
Kids pilled up. Do you want this as a life?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. It was like, I feel like it's just because it's what I know. I mean, I live in Williamsburg.
You've been sold
I'm
a bill
close
of goods.
to it. Yeah,
yes.
no.
This is where Williamsburg people migrate to.
That's when you get married and have kids. If you live in Williamsburg, it's literally the next step is you go to Park Slope. Yeah, you have to leave. That's just what you do. So that's why I was thinking that. And then obviously fuck Astoria, because I mean, not just because I'm from there, but I just feel like Astoria's got a lot of good chaotic energy that I'm really into, and I feel like it'd be good sex. So that's why I like that. But okay, yeah, I don't know. I might have to change my answer to killing. I think I'd be on the same page as you then. Yeah.
Wow.
I can't believe I'm saying that,
You're
but I
gonna
think
marry Times Square. You dirty animal.
I'm really upset about it.
Yeah.
But like, I think you're kind of right. Like, I get your point. It makes New York, New York.
Yeah.
Fucking A. All right. Well, there you have it.
You hit me with this idea for this podcast,
Yeah.
and I'm so excited about it. But I want people to know what was the,
Oh, the impetus behind this, if you will. Yeah, so I was listening to a friend of mine. We were talking about relationship fights, and he's not in one. We were just two single people talking about past relationship fights, if you will.
It'd be so much funnier if you're like, the fights I'm gonna get into.
Yeah. These were past relationship fights, and we were just talking about like the most ridiculous ones that you could kind of think of. And he was telling me one, and as he was like finishing the story, which was like a crazy story, he wanted me to side with him. It was just clear by the the delivery and everything. He wanted me to be like, yeah, so like fuck her basically. Right. And I was just kind of like, I don't know. It sounds like you're both dicks. And he was just like, what, and I was like, that's kind of a good name. And I wanted the name for this podcast to be You're Both Dicks, but I was like, marketing, that's just not gonna fly.
That's horrible.
It's not. It's great, but it's not gonna work.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I came up with You Both Suck. And then what makes it even better is I was telling a friend about this because I was like so excited about it. I was like, yeah, we're gonna take not just relationship fights, any type of fights. It could be friends, family, whatever, coworkers. Yeah, yes. Coworkers is a big one.
Yeah.
And like just anything weird that's like you don't know who's right or wrong. And my friend goes, oh, it's like, am I the asshole? And I was like, oh no, like this exists. It's a Reddit thread apparently. I had no idea, but
understandable. I've heard of it and I get it. It's just like, but the difference is like, you're not leaving it to chance of two people who, this is the internet.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing's original anymore. I really don't give a fuck.
Right,
it's
but
just
also
funny.
I think that there's just so many more unhinged people.
That's true.
And one of the things you said to me that kind of like kept me like interested about this idea, you're like, listen, we spoke, we had a good conversation. You sound like a person who's done the work.
Yeah.
And I go, it only takes a person who knows that's done the work to say that to someone else.
That's true.
So that to me was like, oh, she's not crazy.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, like we've known each other for over 2 decades. Ugh.
Right.
But it's just like, but we don't really know each other.
Right. We're not close. You and I have not been close over the years. We've been in the periphery, like, but we were not hanging out since high school. Like, I have friends to this day that I have had since high school that I hang out with regularly. But you were not one of those people. I just, like, we kept in touch, but it was not like we were close. And that's why I also think it was good because I'm like, we're going to discover a lot of stuff about each other together on this journey, which I think is going to be, I mean, you've already learned a lot about me in the past even 20 minutes.
Oh my God, absolutely. Your inability to sit in silence is bonkers. It's almost like unhinged. I like that. It's a quirk, so it's not like crazy.
Yes.
I mean, it is crazy, but it's not like walk away from you crazy.
Right.
But it's like we were setting up the cameras, setting up all the stuff, and we're trying to make sure everything's looking all right, and we're trying, and it's just quiet, and you're just like muttering to yourself. Like if you weren't successful in some which way, you were like 4 steps away from people on the street that are like lunatics.
I know this, and it's funny you bring that up because that's actually, so I'm starting to dabble in stand-up for those of you listening at the almost age of 40. I don't even want to talk about it. And that is actually
irrelevant.
I know, you're right. It's never too late, and that's fine.
I wouldn't use a cliche, but it's still irrelevant.
But I use that, actually. That's in one of my sets about how I used to think that people who walk around the streets of New York talking to themselves were just fucking nuts and just unhinged, crazy. I'm like, no, that's just somebody who's been single and living alone for too long. I narrate my entire life in this apartment. That's what I was doing. I just talk about what I'm doing as I'm doing it. I'm like, I'm going to go into the kitchen. All right.
You say that to yourself?
I swear to God.
You say I'm going into the kitchen?
Go into the kitchen. No,
Who are you narrating this to?
I don't do it all the time, but I'm not lying. A lot of times I'll be like looking in the fridge and I'm like, turkey, pickles. Yeah, maybe
okay, that makes sense.
But it's the same thing.
But no. Nobody, as Dara approached the kitchen, she had known she was hungry.
I'm not doing it like in a story.
Yeah, but it's just like listing things that are there is okay. Nobody narrates the space that they're going to.
Okay, well, maybe I exaggerated that part, but I will say things like, what did I come in here for? And I'll say that out loud. Like, when you go into the kitchen and you're like, why am I in here? Because we're old and that's what happens.
Sure.
I'll definitely say that shit out loud to myself. Yeah. I'll walk in and be like, what the fuck did I come in here for? And then I'll go, oh, right.
It reminds me of that old movie commercial. Let's go into the kitchen. Let's go. You know what I mean?
I don't remember that.
I'll play that for you later. It's so ridiculous.
We'll pull that up on YouTube. Yeah. Well, anyway, so that is, I don't even know how we got on this topic. I think it was you being excited about us doing this together.
Yes.
And I said about learning each other's quirks. So yes, that is one of mine.
That is one of the quirks.
Yes, I cannot. I don't like silences.
Yeah.
It upsets me.
Right. So it's about, because we've spoken about like how you said to me that I did the work and I recognize, yes.
You use the word reframe more than once.
Yeah.
I was like, that's someone who's been to therapy.
Yes. Yeah. Shout outs to Danielle. Shout outs to Steven. Shout outs to Beverly.
Shout outs to Marla. Shout outs to Oscar. Shout outs to Shirley. It's fucking all our therapists.
It's like an Oscar speech.
One of my therapists literally was named Oscar.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's so ridiculous. I just want to give a shout out. All right, okay.
That's true. But anyway, we are thrilled to be here and finally doing this. And seriously, thank you for doing this. It means a lot. I think it's going to be great. And should we just dive into today's topic? Because let's fucking go.
Yeah.
I guess just to set that up, we're going to do one, I think, per episode. We'll see how it goes. Sure. If there's small ones, we can maybe get in two, but let's just stick with one.
Right.
Let's dive right in.
This is, now to set this up, this is a friend conflict.
Yes, it is a friend fight, which I feel like is not talked about enough.
Absolutely.
I'm very, very adamant about this. I feel like friend fights happen a lot more. I don't know if it's these days, but I feel like I hear about it more. And it's just one of those things where we're so quick to cut people out, and we don't work on them in the same way that I feel like we work on our relationships. So
because there's that distance, and to cut a person out that's a friend is easier.
Right. That's what's interesting, though. Yeah. It's I don't know that it is easier, but I mean, in a way it is. It's just well, is it the sex? Do we just start having sex with our friends? I don't know. I'm just,
I don't know how you got there, but
I'm kidding. Obviously kidding.
I just wanted to ask this, though. I've heard a theory, and before you get into it, is that, and a friend of mine said this to me. He said that if you take a group of 7 women and a group of 7 men, within a few years, 2 of these women will be fighting within this group. Do you believe? Because I think a group of 7 guys could be friends.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I think that's a huge part of it. I hate to, shit on my kind, but women fight.
I don't mind, but I'm kidding.
You're go nuts. Yeah. No, I think it's definitely I don't want to say it's a female specific problem, but it absolutely happens so much more with women than it does with men.
Because I think that to defend, it's just that I think women get closer.
And also just
and that's why.
And by nature, we are more emotional usually, and we're gonna talk about things that I feel like guys don't talk to each other about.
Yeah, so in a way, is that really just, and I hate to admit this, a weakness of dudes?
I think it is, but then on the flip side, so I'm somebody who, I'm very much like a guy's girl, and I have a lot of male friends, but I also have a lot of female friends now. And it is true, though, the male friends, they just don't connect with each other that way, at least from what I see. Right. And even with me, it's it's not the same. So it's I don't know. At the same time, I feel like men they just don't go there. I don't know.
I'm going to be honest. I'm a girl's guy.
Nice.
Yeah.
We appreciate that.
And I want that with my friends, with my male
With
friends.
your male friends,
Yeah.
though.
I want us to cry.
You don't think it would be weird? Like, you're just sitting around crying.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
I come here telling you, I'm bearing it out right here. And you're like, hey, weirdo.
I'm just
keep
saying.
It moving, creep. Go cry on the train with another dude out of here.
I'm just thinking.
Yeah.
I'm thinking to myself, like, when I'm like with my girlfriends and we're having like a wine night and somebody ends up crying because they're just like, so, they have a lot of feelings and something, or it's like a heartfelt moment. I just don't really see that happening with the men as much. I think it's happened.
I want that.
I mean, then you know what? I respect it.
I
do think
to sit there with a dude not drunk,
Yeah.
sober, stone sober,
Sober.
which is so worse, so much worse. And I want to be like, we tell each other the things we feel and our dreams, our hopes, the things that scare us.
Right.
And then we cry and then hug. This sounds so like it's the beginning of like men having sex with each other. That's how it sounds like.
I was gonna say now that would probably have to be edited out.
Yeah.
But we'll think about it.
It just sounds like romantic in a lot of ways, and I think that just dudes don't want to have that.
Yeah, I just think that they stay away from it. But I guess it's like, look, on the flip side, you keep your friendships for longer. But I don't know, is the quality of that friendship better? I don't know.
Yeah.
Because they're maybe not as, it's not that you're not as close, but I mean, this is good for instance, like one of my male friends broke up with his girlfriend recently. They were together for like a year or something. And one of my other male friends told me about this via text. And I'm like, oh my God, what? Like, tell me everything. And he goes, it's funny. I didn't ask one question. I was just like, man, I was like, you guys are useless.
Yeah.
How do you not get the tea? I want to know.
I'm this guy as well. Like there's
Yeah.
so many times where my girlfriend will ask me stuff about something that happened in someone else's life. And I go, yeah, I don't know.
That's what I mean.
She goes, aren't you guys close? And I go, yeah, we're very close. Yeah. I'd probably be one of this man's groomsmen.
Yet you would have no idea. Yeah. Well, okay. So, all right, let's get into this before we go off on too many tangents. So I'm gonna read it. And yeah, this is a female. It's a female problem. So,
right.
She's okay. It says, my friend of 10 plus years ghosted me 3 times. That's the title.
That's tough.
That's the title. So she's 36, female, and located in NYC. Long story short, my BFF that I've known for over 10 years started getting really distant over the past year or so, taking forever to reply to texts, disappearing for weeks at a time, and popping back up with an, oh my God, so sorry, work has just been crazy type texts. And when I tried to make plans, she literally ghosted me. Then months later, she sent a long apology text and said she doesn't know if our friendship will be reignited, but she hopes so. Meanwhile, this is the 3rd time this has happened. So I wrote back and said, I appreciated she reached out, but I was honest in that she hurt me with the ghosting. And if she wanted to be friends, I wanted to talk about it / understand why this keeps happening. And then she just never replied. Why even bother reaching out? I just don't understand why friends do this. It's one thing to be romantically involved and do that, but a best friend, it hurts and it makes no sense. I'm not sure if it's worth saying anything or if I should just let it go. And I'm inclined to say she sucks, no question, but let me know what you think.
First and foremost, don't give us the long story short.
I actually agree with that.
Give us the long story.
We need the details sometimes.
All the details.
Yeah.
Okay? Like a complex tea, all the ingredients must be present. Okay?
Yes.
If I'm going to drink a chamomile, I want to know. I want to know.
And actually I agree, especially with friend. I mean, honestly, any fight, because immediately what I thought in my head is like, we're getting one side of the story and we're getting, and always right in this situation. So I don't know, like in my head, I'm like, did they have a lot of fights in this relationship? Maybe was it a toxic kind of friendship, or was there something that led up to the friend ghosting? Because there's not really any of that color here. So we kind of just have to go off of what we have here. So let's assume that their friendship was fine and dandy, and we can go with that. Because I would like to think, as a woman especially, if there was a fight, you'd probably know about it, I think. Women are more inclined to share the details.
They are more inclined to share the details, but that doesn't necessarily apply to all, right?
I agree.
Yeah, so there's clearly something here.
Right.
When you long story short me, To me, that is already a flare.
That's a good point, actually, because it's a little of a yada yada from Seinfeld. It's a little like, what are you hiding?
Yeah.
Okay,
Long story,
enough.
yada yada. I ran over their dog. Like what did you do?
Fair enough.
So,
I mean, we don't want to, as the listener here, we don't want to shame the listener.
No.
Because we don't know, but
Right.
yeah, there might be some stuff there that they're not telling us, but
You're remaining anonymous.
Right.
And
Exactly.
we will
That's
not,
true.
you know what I mean? So we're
Yeah.
good. We got you.
Right.
And
True.
it's okay. If you're looking for answers,
Yeah.
hey.
That's true. Give us all the information, guys. The longer, the better. I mean, well, actually, let's be careful with that. People said like novels. Okay.
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Yeah.
All right.
So what do you got?
Well, I mean, yeah. So, piggybacking off of that, I do think that it matters a little bit context because, look, she said she's 36, female, whatever, living in New York. The friend, I assume, is around the same age. That would have been a detail that would help. Also, is the friend single? Is the friend married? Do they have kids? Because I think,
Or a new relationship.
sure, quite literally anything. Because I know, and you know that we're both in this age of the late 30s, and as you know, not having kids or being married, when that happens in your friendships, I think naturally you do start to drift apart a little, just because it's like a life phase thing. This person is,
The way that I've seen friends that don't have kids, and these are like regular people, not in comedy,
right?
Because they're normal jobs, normal human beings, really. And the ones that don't have kids separate from the ones that do.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it just kind of happens, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like that could be a factor. We don't know. But
also,
I mean,
a fresh relationship.
Yes.
Are you the kind of person that disappears into a fresh?
No, I'm not. Ooh, you looked like you thought I was.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
oh
did.
My God, you caught me.
I see it in your eyes.
I'm gonna hide my face. I'm wearing a mask.
I am very good at picking up on
I'm wearing a
social
Pikachu
cues.
mask next time. Like, she won't see what I'm thinking.
You're like the Mandalorian.
Yeah. This is the way.
So first of all, thank you for that. No, I am not somebody who disappears when I'm in a new relationship. I mean, obviously, I will probably make a little bit more.
You get smitten?
No, I don't.
Really?
Yeah, no.
What about a breakup? Do you disappear after a breakup?
No. I will fucking lean.
Yo, this is like frat dude energy. You get, no. Yo, strong surfer, bro. No, bro, I'm back at the waves.
Oh, well, I mean, like, I lean on my friends fucking hard during a breakup.
All right.
I mean, when I was going through my most recent one, I talked to anyone with ears, some without, about my fucking breakup.
People are just signing at
you. If you were in my vicinity, if you were a guy at the grocery store who asked me if I needed help, I'd be like, with my heart, I do. For fuck's sake.
That's great.
So anyway, I don't disappear.
Will that be all, ma'am?
Exactly.
Oh, no. There's much more. Let me tell you what else is in this grocery cart.
There's much more in this baggage.
Yeah.
No, I don't get smitten. It does not happen to me. I am not someone who falls head over heels, not since like literally high school. It just does not. I'm not that type of girl.
Okay.
So that's not me. But again, we don't know with this person what they were going through.
Fair enough.
And that's the other thing too, is like, look, that friend could be dealing with depression and just kind of, but I still think she did mention it happened 3 times. That's a lot, you know?
And that to me is a clear-cut thing that needs to be taken into account.
Right.
And the thing that I wanted to say is people make time for people they want to make time for.
100%.
You don't respond to the text. Like I'm talking days.
Yes.
Or
it's
at
insane.
all.
Sorry.
Then you've let me know here.
Yeah, 100%.
There is no excuse here. Unless you're just like, oh, I'm on a battleship. I don't know. I don't know where that came from.
You've sunk my battleship.
Yeah. And also this friendship. But it's just like something about there's got to be an extenuating circumstance, right?
Yeah.
You're in a place where I was in the mountains.
Yeah,
like
whatever.
even before we started this podcast, I sent you a text and said, hey, I'm going to be upstate doing a lot of drugs. And you said,
I'm going to be a little like spotty service. So the replies might be slow. And I appreciated that clarity.
But that's what I was doing.
Right.
All right. And you were like, all right, noted, weirdo. And I go, yeah.
Hey, I didn't say that. I supported your journey.
Thank you.
But no, and that's what I'm saying is anytime there's anything like this where, it took me 4 days to respond to something. I think that's crazy. It's 2023. We all have our phones in our hands all the time.
Glued to our hands.
To our phones. Get the fuck out of here. And if you're my best friend.
Yeah.
And you can't be bothered because, work was so crazy.
Yeah.
What? I don't
Give me a
know.
heart emoji on the thing.
Right.
And even, you know what I mean? Even one emoji was something. Let me get at
Acknowledge.
you. Yeah.
Like, something. I feel like the complete, like, ghosting, dismissal, it's just fucking weird. And I have had this actually almost, I'm like, did somebody who wrote this, are they like trolling me? Because I had a very similar situation happen with one of my best friends a few years ago. And it was very similar. She had a very demanding job, and she did get into a relationship, like a new one, which made her kind of like, I don't want to say like phase out, but she was phasing herself out a little. But then this same kind of thing happened where she just ended up ghosting me, basically. And I was just like, well, I don't. Like,
are you still friends now?
No.
Ooh,
we're not.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I mean, like, I tried though. It was similar, very similar to this. She reached out to me, or I reached out to her. I forget which way it went, but it was very similar. Where one of us, I think she reached out, and then I replied and I said, like, yeah, I mean, I want to be friends with you, but this keeps happening, and frankly, it's like I want to know why. Like I said, very similar, and she just like dodged it and then answered again like a month later, and I was just like, what the fuck is this? And I was just like, I'm out. Like, this is
I had a friend who would constantly like break plans, and it just like after then she reached out to me and she was like, hey, I know I've been like at MIA. Let's talk about it. And we talked about it. Yeah. And there was some accountability. Okay. And then there was like, oh, let's hang out. And then that didn't germinate. And some was on me too. I could put that on me as well. But at the same time, I'm just like, we're at a place right now where this isn't happening anymore.
It's not serving either of us. Like, that's kind of where like I kind of felt like that was the thing. In my case, I was just like, I keep trying with this person. She's sort of trying, but like every, whenever she feels like she can come up for air and has the time for me. But it's like you said, I make time for people that I feel are important in my life. I make that time.
I think friendships have a romance level to it too. Yeah. You know what I mean? You know, when you like meet somebody, you're excited about them and you're like, oh, this is great. Let's keep this going.
Yes.
Like, I'm having one of those right now.
Yeah.
And it's like, great. And it's like, let's keep this going. Let's appreciate the distance we have. Let's appreciate the distance we don't have. And the conversations. Yep. And sometimes you got to understand this stuff fizzles out.
Yeah.
There's some.
That's true.
But then there are reasons why.
Yeah.
And I think that is the big taker right here, because the friend said, oh, I'm sorry. This is the thing that kind of said to me. Yeah. Long apology. I don't know if our friendship could be reignited.
Right.
That to me means that the friend is something happened.
You think so?
When you say to somebody, I'm sorry I've been MIA, I don't know if our friendship could be reignited, that means something stomped out the friendship.
You think that, so I think that's possible, but where I went with that is that she knows she fucked up and knows that the other friend, the one writing in, is pissed. And that's why she's like, I don't know how you feel about this because you're probably pissed because I disappeared so many times. That's how I took that.
Really?
But I don't know. It could be,
I could be either way, right?
It could be either way. That's what we don't know.
Yeah, because I don't know, because the person who wrote in was like, reaches out, and then the friend doesn't reach back out again.
Right.
Right?
Right. Yeah. So the friend reached out.
Yeah.
And then she replied and said, like, I want to know why this keeps happening. Let's talk about it, basically. And then the friend disappeared.
Ghosts again.
That's weird.
So that means that maybe this person who wrote in might have done something.
I don't know. I feel like you'd have to be really not self-aware to not include that in this.
You're telling me that there are people out there.
Shut up.
That might be out there who might lack self-awareness. Well, I don't know if I can.
Well, I give up.
I can't. That can't be real. That can't be real. People are just walking around lacking self-awareness. I don't believe it.
All right. I hate you.
I'm going to go look at this green sky out here that we got going on.
Okay. You know what? Fair enough. However, that doesn't seem like even lacking self-awareness. That just seems like you're completely not understanding how to explain a conflict between two people. Leaving out a big thing like something. We don't know what.
Have you ever been in a fight where someone was so wildly wrong, where you're like, how do you not even see what you're doing is bad here?
No.
Really?
I mean, not really. Like, well, hold on. Am I misunderstanding what you're saying? Have I ever been in a fight with somebody who has done something visibly, clearly wrong and they don't acknowledge it? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, that too, I guess. Like, there's just like where the accountability is so not gone,
right?
It's so MIA, it might as well be on a milk carton. Like, that's how far the accountability is missing, full on.
Yeah, I mean, yes, but I don't know. I guess for the most part, when I've had fights, both friends and relationships, that person eventually, even if they're not super aware of it at first, they will eventually catch on to the fact that they had something to do with it.
Okay.
Usually, but like I'm saying, there have been some friend fights where, like, very similar situation as this person, where they just kind of disappear and I never really knew what happened.
Right,
There's a few of those.
I'm like, just through the course of this slight conversation, I'm finding I might have had sociopaths for friends. And that's upsetting to me.
Like, they just were completely blind to the fact that they did something wrong. Like, completely blind.
Yeah, like they just couldn't understand how they did something wrong.
I mean, I've had that, yes, but like I said, there's, I think, a difference between, we're also talking about maybe two different things. I'm thinking of like something that's clearly wrong, like I hit your dog and by accident and then lied about it. That's like, but if it's something like a difference of opinion or viewing something and no one takes accountability, then yes, I've had that happen multiple times.
Yeah, but it's like, to me, I think that if you can't understand a person's perspective at all, that is a lack of accountability.
I agree. It's also like invalidating the feelings thing, which I think we talked about once already, but like that's where the fight also happens, is like, that's at least what's happened to me a lot, is I will have a feeling about something and then someone's like, it's bananas that you would even feel like this. And I'm like, fuck you. I'm allowed to feel however I want to feel. Just understand it and respect it.
I think that is like criminal. I think you should be written a citation.
Yes.
When somebody goes, that's crazy, you'd feel that way.
Yes.
That's like,
I hate it.
I go, this is unfair, man. You should be given a ticket for, and not like a sizable amount, but like $15, $25.
Agree. And I bet you people would start to fucking learn if they did.
Right? There should be someone out there who pops up from behind the bushes and be like, yo, lack of feelings ticket. Here you go, bro.
It's true.
Yeah. I was seeing a friend. They have a door person at their building. And I was like, listen, she lives in this apartment. And the guy goes, there's no one listed there. And I go, well, she's there, guy.
Yeah.
And he was like, don't give me attitude. Right? And I was like, dude, I'm not giving you attitude.
Okay.
And I'm like, we're going back and forth. I go, I'll call her. And he goes, yeah, do that then.
Wow.
It got real testy.
Yeah, that's tense. Okay.
Right? And then I'm on the elevator on the way up, and I'm talking with another dude who witnessed this whole interaction. And the guy who witnessed this interaction was like, I'm a dog walker in this building. This guy has always been sweet to me. And I was like...
Interesting.
And you know what I said? I was like, I messed up here.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Because if this person has a reputation
for being sweet
to a dog walker, someone they don't have to be nice to at all, right? And then let's put it this way. Let's say if my intention wasn't to be rude,
right?
But then I still came across as rude.
Yes.
Which, by the way, when you use the word guy, apparently it is rude.
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe that's it.
Yeah, right. But it's just like, and I don't even remember if I did or didn't, but the point is like, clearly this person took it that way, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, no, perception is reality. Yeah. I mean, you might say something to somebody and they perceive it a certain way, even though you didn't mean that, you know? And that's, I think, also just the basis of a lot of fights to begin with, right? So... I have had many fights like that with friends where they're like, I don't know, why are you even upset about this? Like, this is, I didn't mean anything by it. I'm like, that's fine if you didn't mean anything by it, but I took it this way. Just apologize and fucking move on.
So then what is your beef, yo?
Yeah.
If you didn't mean anything by it, how come the apology doesn't mean anything anymore?
Okay, so actually, this also brings up another point, is some people can just not apologize. Like, another one. I know. Another truth bomb.
Another ticket.
I'm sorry.
Another ticket.
But it's actually shocking to me how many people I've discovered have such a problem with apologizing. I know that's, again, maybe like, oh, big, obvious, Captain Obvious type of thing, but I think it
bears repeating.
It's shocking how many people cannot really say, I'm sorry, and just move on.
You know what I like to think of it this way. If you can't say you're sorry, what are you losing?
Right. What the fuck?
Say you're sorry, and then check your bank account. Does anything shift? Does Visa take money out? Why do we like this as a society?
I actually completely agree, and I don't know what it is, because like I said, I've gone through the motions of being like kind of a bad person back then to being a good one now. At least I like to think I am. Not that I was ever a bad person, but I had some bad character flaws.
Sure.
And one of them was not really taking accountability for being a certain type of way.
Right.
But I did not have a problem apologizing, though.
Oh, I would say that's like the bonus on me.
Yeah.
I'm good at saying sorry.
Oh yeah, me too now.
Yeah.
But I was not great at it then. I
Right.
would say I've gotten better, but it was more like I said sorry back then without really understanding why.
There's that. There's several apologies that should not be acceptable in a court of law.
Oh,
in a court of
is
people.
one of them? I'm sorry you feel that way.
I'm sorry you feel that way. First offense. That's murder 1.
That's murder 1.
Yeah. Okay. That's murder in the first degree.
Yep.
All right. Murder in the second degree.
Okay.
Okay. Would be the flippant sorry. Not I'm sorry you feel that way.
Oh, I know.
But
the
like,
dismissive. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh well, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Or the I'm sorry, like the passive aggressive one, like sorry I said anything.
Yeah. Yes.
That.
Okay.
Passive aggressive.
I'm sorry you feel that way is number 1.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Caveat number 2.
Yep.
Okay. And then the third one is I'm sorry, but you clearly have no understanding as to why you're sorry.
Yes.
This is the pacifying sorry.
Right.
They are 3 distinct sorries, and each one of them are punishable by a fine.
They should be.
They should be. Tickets
Yes.
should be handed out.
Yes. So I think I was definitely a number 3 person back when I was like a teenager. I would just kind of get so sick of the fighting that I'd say sorry without fully understanding my role in the situation and everything. But obviously after the many years of therapy, I know that like saying sorry and just like moving on, and if you actually understand why it happened in the first place, I just don't get why it's so hard for some people. But I don't know. I mean, that's a separate thing. This one, though, with this particular fight, it is weird that the friend reached out and then the one who wrote to us responded to it. So it's like, you're like, oh, I hope our friendship can be reignited. The friend did respond, but they just said, I wanted to talk about it. It's like, I guess that person is just really avoidant and not wanting to talk about it. But how can you expect to repair something that clearly needs fixing without talking about it?
I guess the person who they're writing about might just be involved in a lot of broken things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a good way to put it.
I think that there might be the one thing that I could hold the writer accountable for is like lack of details.
Yeah.
Sure.
We could have used a little more detail.
Right.
Here.
Understandable. But at the same time, I also think that after a while, boundaries. Boundaries are so important.
Yeah.
That's like my new favorite thing.
Yes.
I'm putting people in castles left and right. All right. I'm putting people in cages. Call me the American government. People are getting put in cages.
Yes.
I don't care. I don't want to be around. I will literally, there are people I cannot stand. Truly. Yep. That make me ill.
Oh, I get it.
And I will walk up to them, or they'll walk up to me, and I'll be like, "Hey, how's it going?"
Yeah,
because they don't know they are in a cage, sir. You may be next to me, but you live in Australia.
Yes, I'm a big boundaries person as well, or I've gotten to be. I wasn't good at it before, but I'm better at it now.
The minute I find out you can't handle having a conversation, you can't take accountability, you can't apologize. Once that situation has occurred, I'm looking at you while building this pen. I'm out. I got the nails and the hammer going, and I'm going. Let's get this going.
Yeah, no, I think that's true, and that's how I am now with my friendships. But I'll be honest, it took me a really long time to get there because I also realized that I'm way, way, way more forgiving with my friends than I am with my relationships, which is interesting because I think a lot of times it's actually maybe the other way around.
For most people, it is.
Yeah. So
you're way more forgiving with friendships 100%. Than you are relationships.
Absolutely.
So you come in with relationships all hot and heavy.
Not like hot and heavy, but I think I'm a little bit more sensitive in my relationships because I feel like it's like a different level of, what's the word? Maybe intimacy that I'm thinking about when it comes to relationships. Yeah. So I feel like, they should understand me better or something like that. At least if I'm clear about it and then they don't understand, that's when I get frustrated. Whereas with a friend, I'm like, they know this stuff too, but I, for some reason, will give them way more chances if they fuck up.
Yeah, I think a lot of problem is that we don't give. Sometimes we're very like measured with grace.
Yeah.
Not only with other people, but mostly with ourselves.
Yes, I think that's a big deal. I think that's true too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think like, and with this, it sounds like I probably would have gotten fed up too if I were this person. Again, not knowing the full detail, but if somebody's ghosted me or done anything like that where they disappear, they ignore my text, like I've had that happen with a few friends over the past couple years where they just don't reply to texts, they ghost, and I'm like, you know what, this friendship has now become a peripheral kind of friendship. It's an acquaintance at this point.
Oh, absolutely.
Like that's the other thing is like I don't think it necessarily needs to be like a cut you out, I'm never talking to you again type of thing, unless it really drains you and upsets you or whatever. But I think you can also just decide how much time this person gets in your life, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I think that's a big one.
That's a huge deal. People need to do more of that.
Exactly.
Right.
Like, you don't have to cut everybody out just because they hurt you once or twice or even 3 times. I mean, again, depending on how big the hurt is, I guess, then maybe if it's really sucking out your energy and your quality of life, then fine, cut them out. But if it's not, and it's just like these annoying things like this, where this person is clearly not making time for you anymore, then don't fucking make time for them.
Right.
Like, just if it works out and it aligns and you can hang out, great. But if not, then like, just why not just leave it, you know?
So then,
I don't know.
all right, so we should get to a final verdict here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it is hard to say because, again, I feel like some details would have been more helpful. But in this case, I still am inclined to side with the writer because I don't like people who just don't handle conflict. Like, this person reached out in hopes of repairing a friendship. The friend responded, and then you ghosted again.
Yes.
So I'm thinking the friend sucks. That's me.
I gotta say that I think that, and this is a hard thing to do, but I think boundaries should have been set up earlier.
Yeah.
Unless you did something.
Right.
And only you will know.
Only you, listener. Will
Yeah,
know.
only you, listener, will know where the truth lies.
Yes.
Okay? Because
Yeah.
we only know so much. But
Right.
I think that in a situation like this, if you were truly done wrong here, I think a boundary is so important. And you've given too many chances in that way. And there's nothing wrong with setting boundaries.
Yeah, no,
nothing
not
at
at
all.
all. I think
Because you're
it's
not hurting them. You're not telling them they suck. You're just doing the thing that I think is the most important, protecting oneself.
Protecting yourself.
And
Exactly.
not at the harm of another being.
Exactly. That's the same with like, again, with like allowing or the time that you allow in somebody's life or vice versa, whatever. It's the same thing. It's a boundary. Just like set that and protect yourself. But anyway, so are you voting
BTG? Bang that gavel.
Well, wait, I say the friend sucks. Are you agreeing?
Oh, I'm agreeing. I think that I'm going to be honest.
Okay.
I think they both suck.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
you know what?
Yeah.
Still. All right. So that's good. I like the contrarian stance there. I think in this case, it's actually warranted because there are details that I feel like were left out. So I support that. Well, anyway, I think that kind of will do it for us today, right? I think we're good. And if you, listener, would like to write in with your own squabble, I'm using that word, by the way, squabble.
Squabble?
I think it's good.
It's a great word.
No one uses it.
Not enough people.
Not enough.
And they will.
They'll start
will.
to. So if you want to write in with your own squabble, you can do that via our Google form, which is anonymous, so your identity is hidden. You can also just DM us on the good old Instagrams. I am at Dara Pollock. You are at
All Day KCA.
There you go. And then there will also be in the show notes, I believe.
Yes.
And we also have an email, youbothsuckpodcast@gmail.com. So, you have options. That's what I'm saying.
Nobody has. This is a conversation between us three.
Exactly.
All right? And some other people that are listening. But the point is like, we got you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Have a good one. Stay safe, and only you can prevent forest fires. I have no idea where that even came from.
I like it. I like it a lot.